Good morning and welcome to 30-ish Seconds with Coach Rick, and I am Rick, and I think this is session 29. Part of my process is I go through, as I've said before, I go through different podcasts throughout the day, or from today, there's like 6 or 7 of them that I listen to every morning, and sometimes they don't have a new one for the day, and so I scroll back to see if there's an older one. And so today I was scrolling back through Justin Sua's podcast, and back in podcast number 2200, he told a parable. So now I'm going to tell a parable. There's a couple, and they were going to go to market, and so they got their donkey, and the husband had the wife ride on the donkey, and they go to the first town. They go through the first town, and people were criticizing the woman. Say, look at that woman riding on the donkey. Her husband is much older, and she'll be riding that donkey. And so they get to the second town, and the woman's like, "You get on the donkey. I'll walk alongside. I'm younger." And so they get through the second town, of course, and those town people are like, look at that man riding on that donkey and not letting his wife ride on that donkey. What kind of guy is that? And so they get to the third town, and so now they're like, okay, well, what are we going to do? It's like, oh, we both get on the donkey. And so they both get on the donkey, and of course, they get into that third town, and people are like, look at those two. My goodness, they're both healthy. Why are they both riding on that donkey? That's ridiculous, a poor donkey. And then they get through that third town, they get to the fourth town, and they decide, well, neither of us will ride the donkey. And so they both get off the donkey, and they're walking through the town, and of course there's somebody there, and they're going to say, and they criticize, and they say, oh my goodness, look at this ridiculous couple. Neither of them are even using this donkey. That's ridiculous. They need to use their heads. And then so they get through that town, they get to the next town, and they're like, well, we've only got one more option. So they pick up the donkey and they carry him into town. And of course, the people are going to say something. So I'm not going to, I'll share what I got from that, is that there will always be critics. And we need to stop worrying as much about what people are thinking about us. And maybe we need to focus more on who's given us the encouragement instead of who's criticizing us. Again, that was Justin Sua, and his podcast number for that particular story, if you want to hear it again, is 2200. I am Coach Rick, and thank you again for listening.